the Fed's next bet. Oil's up, yuan's down, bonds be breaking, Wall Street's bluffing, retail shaking. But me, I'm chillin', just DCA, stacking stats like the world's decaying. Every candle's a battle, every chart's a war, but I ain't scared of a sell-off anymore. It's Macro Monday, bring the noise, bring the pain, rate hikes, trade fights, we surf the hurricane. From Basel to Beijing, the fallout shake, but Bitcoin don't flinch, we awake, wide awake. Macro Monday, this is where tides change. Regard in the dark, breaks in formation, dollar gets tested by de-dollarization. Recessions flirting, soft landing lies, but I see the truth in those CPI eyes. Gold's got a glimmer, but BTC's roaring. Altcoins quiet, but the chain's still storing. Inflation be creeping like a silent curse, but conviction's a compass I've rehearsed. They print, we pivot, they lie, we live it. Old world slipping, new change winning. It's Macro Monday, let the candles dance. Every crisis gives crypto a chance. They play with fire, we spark the flame. New system rising, remember the name. Macro Monday, we decode the game. With the Macro Monday, bring the noise, bring the pain, rate hikes, trade fights, we surf the hurricane. The Basel to Beijing, the fallout shape, but Bitcoin don't flinch, we awake, wide awake. Wait, wide awake. Macro Monday. This is where tides change. Regard in the dark, breaks in formation. Dollar gets tested by de-dollarization. Recessions flirting, soft landing lies, but I see the truth in those CPI eyes.
Welcome to the night where we light up the spark. We're trading crypto, finance, you'll be mad on the charts. Hosted by the one, Lunar Beaches top shark. Dive deep into the numbers cause this ain't no lark. We're crunching all the data, making money moves fast. From Wall Street to the blockchain, making predictions last. Community together in this financial blast. Markets after dollar shatter ceilings made of glass. Mad on the charts with Lunar's bright lights. Crypto markets soaring through the night. Follow the trends, see future in sight. It's markets after dark, the financial flight. From Bitcoin to Ethereum, we're mapping the road. Stock tips and insights, secrets ready to unload. Trading strategies, sharp on knowledge be showed. Let Lunar Beaches guide you to the mother lode.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Markets After Dark, where we go mad on the charts. Sunday through Thursday, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Piper Academy Network. Thank you for joining me. I am LBC, coming to you live from the Memphis, Tennessee. Hope you all are doing well this evening. It is an amazing evening. We've got markets pumping. We've got songs a bumping. We've got weekends flowing. We've got portfolios growing. And now we're showing now because we've got the Madhouse. What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all doing well. Good evening, good evening. Let's say good evening to everybody. Indie Rock Crypto, thank you for being here. As always, alumni, thank you for being here. IRC, I do appreciate you. As always, Inked Pirate, happy Sunday night from the Caves of Belize. Happy Sunday night to you. Happy Macro Monday to everybody. Hope you all are doing well. Alexandra G, the mod the mod queen, the mod boss, the mod god. What's going on, Alexandra G? Hope you're doing well this evening and had a great weekend. Kasiber? Happy Monday from the future. Monday morn from the future. Good morning from the past. What's going on, Kasieber? Or is it just Kasib R? I don't know. What's going on, Harp? Throwing the meta horns up. Thank you as always, Harp. Thank you for being here. Rocking out. As always, maybe a band-aid. Hey. Maybe a band-aid showing up in the DMs teaching me about syncopated polyrhythms. pretty crazy stuff. Pretty crazy stuff. It went into pretty nice detail of polyrhythms and syncopated polyrhythms and stuff like that. If you have no idea what we're talking about, maybe consider yourself lucky. I'm not sure, but it's good stuff. Good stuff. It's something that I wish that I could pick up, but I don't know, man. The fact, I don't know. I can't get my hands. I can't even get my hands to do more than a basic like beat, much less add feet into it. I can do a basic drum beat. I can do, I can do a snare 1, 2, 3, 4 with a hi-hat 1, 2, 3, 4 with the snare on the 2 and the 4. Like I can do my feet and my hands. I can do that easy beat. Okay. I can do more with my mouth than I can do with my body. Get your heads out of the gutter. Anyways, what's going on, guys? Hope you're doing well. LOL, I never get to nerd out on stuff like that with anyone. It was fun. Hey, let's keep it going. Keep it going. What? Trying to stay more elevated. But yeah. Did I miss anybody? No, I think we're good to go for the show. Where do we start? So, welcome to Macro Monday, where the charts hit all-time highs, the Fed hits the brakes, and everyone's pretending we're not 6 months from economic chaos and doom. But anyways, besides that, market hits new all-time high. We have the S&P 500 hitting all-time highs, 6,173 points. It is currently at 6,245 points. We'll take a look at that chart. We'll take a look at the S&P. We'll take a look at the NASDAQ and the Dow Jones. That's what we do on Macro Monday. Take a look at the Dixie, Bitcoin. We'll take a look at totals, others, all the big picture stuff. Okay. Maybe some news. I don't know. I don't know. Let's do this poll real quick. Start poll. Wait, you can see it. Hold on. Let me get off of here. But you guys see the S&P chart real quick. All right, let's see. Yep, that one. Okay. All right. No, I'm not even going to give you that option. I'm not going to give you that option either. Just 2 options. Get rid of these. How do I get rid of them? Boom, boom, boom. All right. No, I'll do Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it kind of goes hand in hand. Yeah, I don't know. Let's just do these two, okay? Um, and let me change the question. What? There we go. That's accurate. All right. So the S&P is sitting at 6,245.75 points. It was at just at 246.25. But just dropped a half a point, and now another quarter point, and now back up a quarter point. It's off to the races. We're going to the moon. Anyways, all right, so we do have the S&P 500 bumping. What's going on, All Set? Thank you for being here, my friend. Let's see. Hope you had an amazing weekend, as always. All right, so let's see. All right, so the clear V bottom recovery is on the way. V-shaped recovery. Bang, bang to the upside. Well, you know, if you don't act right, I need a yeller. I need to make it a little bigger. There we go. All right, so we got a clear V-shaped recovery for the S&P 500. Excuse me. That is super bullish, in my opinion. And we don't have to get a pullback from this. This could just continue to just push and push. And what could that do? That could drag everything else with it, especially since we have the NASDAQ also continuing its push, sitting at 22,862 points and getting that same V-shaped recovery in here and pushing higher. Now, the question is, how high can they go? Theoretically, let's just go ahead and pull a fib on here. Let's just see. All right, so the next stop for the S&P could be 6,530 at the 1.272. That could be the next stop for the S&P 500. Our NASDAQ. How do I have... Oh, it's... Wait, yeah. For the NASDAQ, we are looking at... Where's the actual low in here? I just have these drawings here. Yep, okay. All right, so 1.272 sits at about 23,911.75 points. And yeah, so that could be an increase. I should have done this on the S&P. We will. Increase of about 4.37%. And on the S&P 500, that increase would be about 4.37%. Weird. The Dow Jones also breaking out. We are trying to get, we really want this one to get to break out, okay? Bitcoin will not break out until after the Dow Jones breakout, and it breaks out, and then typically it's within weeks that Bitcoin will break out, following a Dow Jones push or break of its all-time high. So it's on its way. It's following behind the S&P and the NASDAQ, which is fine. Oh, fine. What's going on, Wick 589? Speaking of fine, oh, fine. What's going on, my brother? How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Curtis Schill 7926. What's going on, Curtis Schill? Thank you for being here. Is Curtis Schill the same as Curtis Neal? What's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Hope you had a fantastic weekend. We do have the Dixie breaking down even more. That is going to give us more of a bullish narrative for our risk on assets. So that is making a push to the downside. We've got the Aussie dollar still just creeping along, man. Still just creeping along. Waiting for that to get a push to the upside now. If the euro, yep, euro is continuing to push to the upside as well. Let's get back to the daily chart. So last week was a pretty nice week. It continued to the upside, which continues to push the Dixie down. So did the British pound. The Canadian dollar actually saw the US dollar gain against it. Wait, yeah, that would be correct. So the US dollar actually gained against the Canadian dollar. Now we are having a little bit of a situation between the United States and Canada when it comes to trade policy. The Trump administration can't seem, and Canada cannot seem to come to an agreement on trade. Now, what's confusing about that is that in 2016, 17, 18, in Trump's first term, he passed the USMCA bill, which was a trade deal, a trade agreement between the United States, Mexico, and Canada. And Trump has criticized this trade deal that he approved and got passed. He criticized it, wondering what idiot would do such a terrible trade deal. Well, I'm not even going to say it. But anyways, I think he wished he could have that one back because he probably forgot that he made that deal. I don't know. But anyways, US dollar and Canadian dollar are fighting. So we'll see where that goes. The Japanese yen still looking weak, and the US dollar is looking weak against the yen. So if this continues to push to the downside, then that would bring the Dixie to the downside. So not enough tax cuts for moi. Yeah, exactly. What's up, Retro Mike Tech? How you doing? How you doing, my friend? Retro Mike Tech in the house. Thank you for being here, my friend. Let's go ahead and take a look at let's do the total crypto market. Looking bullish over here. That is a nice bull flag you got there, my friend. Is it happy to see me? There you go. This is looking pretty bullish. Now, of course, what do we want to look for? We look for the breakout. We want to see the back test, and we want to see continuation. Kind of what we're getting on Bitcoin currently with the breakout, back test, and continuation. Let me go to a chart where I actually have this drawn out on. This is what I'm looking for on Bitcoin. If Bitcoin needs more time, this is one way that I think we could see it. This is a complex WXY correction. Now, if we come over to the bright screen, sorry, I meant to warn you. Come over to the bright screen. Let's turn on our complex correction. Let's turn all this stuff off. I need to get this all grouped together for short-term scribbles. And there we go. All right, all of that's together. Now let's back this up. So we've got a flat correction. What time frame am I on? It's a little too short. 2 hour. And let's close this and let's widen this up. So we've got a flat correction in here. I'm starting to think this is more of a weird ABC correction than a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but mostly because the schematic calls for a 3-3-5, but I think it can still be a 5-3-5. So I'm just gonna leave it how it is. Bitcoin is super volatile, so the main thing is that this is all corrective price action, and if this doesn't really like break out, then we'll probably see this pull back down to about 102,000, maybe a little steeper into the 786 right here at 100,000. That is if we come up to the measured move of this breakout. Now that we actually have a breakout, and I haven't changed this since, but now that we have the breakout, the measured move on that breakout is going to be a little bit higher, which is going to bring these levels a little bit differently. But I'm still looking at that 102, about 102,600. I can't see. 102,400, 393. 102,393. No, 706. Because what is this one? Let me get rid of this. Hold on. Not get rid of it. Let's just hide it. Hide. Thank you. All right. Now we can see some stuff in here. What's going on, Melissa? Hope you're doing well. Thank you for being here. OG, LBC, OG in the house. What's going on? We have a flat correction with a zigzag and then a triangular. Let me see if I can bring up the schematic on that. Yep. Copy image. Go ahead and paste. All right, so there's your schematic. Bang, bang, gang, gang. Kind of similar, eh? I know I can make this like more transparent, right? Yeah, see that? So basically, maybe an ABC, maybe the ABC doesn't start until here. ABC, then you get an ABC to the upside. Then you get a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You get a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you get a 1, 2, 3. That's what we're currently in. 1, 2, 3 to the upside. And then a pullback and to another ABC pullback. And then you get this complex A, B, C, D, E. And then you take off to the upside. This is complex W, X, Y on a macro. As you get your A, B, C. And then your W starts on this C wave. You get a W, X, Y. Big macro move here. And then some upside. Now, I've been saying July will be the month that we should really get going. And this could prove that out. So we shall see. It gets tighter anyway by the end of summer. I could handle sideways through summer. It's what we all expect anyway. Yep. So a little more sideways is possible. But the main thing is watching this. Let's go back to the screen that doesn't burn anyone's eyes because I'm nice to you guys because I love you guys. And I appreciate you for showing up. And I appreciate your eyeballs. So let's try to keep them around with some dark charts. But when I'm trading and charting, at any other time that's not on my stream, it's on the white charts because I can just see better with that. So I can recognize patterns and stuff a little better. But this isn't too bad either. So this is essentially what I have drawn out on the other one, with the low coming in around that 102.3 to 400 range, and then at this low right here, I believe will be the one too long if we are to get it. We don't have to come up here. However, I kind of think we do. Why? Because I always like to think of the market maker from the market maker's perspective and what's the best way to wreck the most people or grab the most liquidity. Well, that would be to give a false breakout of the bull flag here. So you get a false breakout by coming down and falling through the trend line, okay? and then you come down into inefficiencies. This first inefficiency here, maybe that's what this A wave comes down to and bounces off of. And then we come down and chip up off of the downwards trend here. And this is going to be creating a nice consolidation before a bigger, more explosive, more fireworks, more 150K price action coming up. Okay, we are almost there, guys. We are almost there. Now, during this time, if we start seeing some altcoins get moving, that would be a clear indicator that we are super bullish. We are more risk on, is if we can start getting some altcoins moving. Now, what would coincide with that? That would coincide with a breakdown in the Bitcoin dominance. Now, typically, your altcoin seasons, some people would argue they don't start until after 50%, until Bitcoin gets below 50% dominance. I think by that time, you might be a little too late. Let's see. 50% dominance. I mean, that is when you're absolutely the most bullish, or you're coming actually more up on the ending phase of the altcoin bull run. Now, you see, this is when everything kind of gets going, right? This is when everything gets going. And then as Bitcoin chops around, you get all your blow off tops on your altcoins in that range as Bitcoin chops around at the highs. So I don't know that we'll get all the way up to that 77%. In fact, it's probably not likely, but we'll see. We shall see, especially depending on if Bitcoin does do all this pullback stuff. Okay. If altcoins don't get moving during all of that, then it just might not be time yet. Plus, a lot of the demand is from the institutions is in Bitcoin. So the institutions are stealing demand from the altcoins and putting it into Bitcoin. So we just have to remember that it's still the Bitcoin show. Okay. But once this breaks out of here, I think it's all hands on deck. We've got to go. We got to really be paying attention to these altcoins. Ethereum getting a nice little pop up at the moment to start the week. I do think we're going to have a bullish first half of the week. If maybe only the first couple of days, which that would be the first half of the week, because this is a 4-day trading week, as the stock market will be closed this Friday for the 4th of July. It is America's 250th birthday. And with that, I don't know. I'd say since most crypto holders, or the people that have the most money in crypto, are Americans, I do believe. And crypto seems to be something that Americans really love. At least they have more money to put into it. I don't know. Could be a bullish time for crypto, at least for the first start of the week. I think I remember for the past few years we've been bullish leading into the 4th. Well, I think one year we actually started being bullish on the 4th or the day after. It's crazy how much you can kind of remember. But yeah, I don't know. July has been kind of a bullish month, but I think it usually starts off bullish. That's kind of what I'm looking at, is for July to start off bullish, but to ultimately end in a corrective phase, or not really end in it, but I think the middle part of July will be this whole madness here. Okay. and then we start turning sideways and turn around about the middle of the month, like I've been saying. If we turn around about the middle of the month, and that'll be the bottom end, and then after that, it's all fireworks. We'll see. We'll see if I'm right or wrong. If this turns out to be incorrect, then my next, let me see if I can find it. My next schematic would be this one right here. Copy image, paste. Let's get this untransparentized. But yeah, so we love you more, LBC. Lies. Yes, these demon eyes need night mode only. Okay, thanks. Yeah, sorry. But yeah, so what we'll be looking for is this. If we get this on this pullback, if this is what we get, and we start getting this pullback, I'll be looking on the lower time frames in here to see if we get a 1, 2, 3, or we get a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If we get a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that shows a little bit more of a trend, which means you get an ABC, and then you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 below this low. So like this one right here, you would get below that low right there. And then you would bounce to the upside. So I think those are the two options that we have for Bitcoin. Two of the bullish options. The most bullish option would be that we just break out real kind of crazy and then just go. Not real kind of crazy, but we break out with some conviction. We pull back and we hold the highs, and when we continue. If we do that, then we are in ultra bull mode, and we might actually be pushing towards that 200K. I don't think so, but you never know. It is still crypto. We still have institutions buying like crazy, buying Bitcoin like hotcakes. The tech stocks are powering this record-setting rally on Wall Street, but how long can it last? I saw this headline after I created my title. So, unique or interesting. Investors now wonder whether the new record signaled the start of a longer-lasting rally in the U.S. stock market, or if it's merely a short period of boom before the next big shakeout. For some strategists, the answer hides in one of the market's most long-standing questions: how broad is the rally? Now, just asking that question makes you go look at the Russell 2000, and you can see how broad the rally kind of is. So if the Russell gets a breakout, starts breaking out to the upside, excuse me, then that would signal to us that we are getting a more broader market rally. Broader being that not only is it your big money stocks, but it's also your low market cap stocks. So if the Russell 2000, which is 2,000 of your low cap stocks, breaks out, then that shows that the market overall, they say opening up the market. What that means is breadth, opening up the breadth in the market, meaning there's more risk on. People are putting money into more things instead of just these select few things. And that's what it means. That's what they mean. That's what anybody means when they say breadth in the market. Capital is unlocking and going to all these various different things. It's not just all consolidated and allocated into just a few strong stocks. We're more risk on. We're willing to take on more risk. And which means the bulls are in charge and we're all going to the moon. USDT dominance. Starting to see that breakdown on the USDT dominance. Daily is showing weakness. We have clear downward trend. We have a clear breakdown, pullback because of volatility, pretty wild, but then ultimately still rolling over. I still think the USDT is going to continue to roll over to the downside. Our total 2 still looking good. Now, if we go ahead and overlay our... Oh no, we got to go to the coin chart. Coin, compare, total 2, new price pane. There we go. You can see the altcoin market pretty heavily follows the coin charts, the Coinbase chart. Pretty strong correlation there until just recently where coin broke out, but altcoins are stagnant and really putting in lower lows. But as you can see in the past, coin breaks out and then the stock market goes, and then the altcoin market goes. This one, they rode together. This one was, the altcoins were a little bit behind. They followed really closely during the collapse. But you can see the same type of price structures in here. You get a low, the lower low, low, the lower low, the bouncies, whoops. The bouncies, push, push, pull back, push, push, pull back, push on your altcoins. Coin flat. Interesting. But overall, pretty big early signal for your altcoin and crypto market in general, Bitcoin too, and Ethereum. So, and they're all kind of flat. Total 3 looks very similar to the total 2 because it's just everything minus Bitcoin and Ethereum. What we really want to look at is going to be our others, which is everything outside of the top 10. Let's go ahead and get rid of total 2. Hi, Barber. What's going on? Wait, what? It all gets... What? I have no idea why my name changed. Melissa One Love. It's a YouTube thing. Everyone's has changed, Melissa. It's a YouTube thing. Some channels are okay. What? Oh wait, that's at Piper. Is it because we're all adding now? We're doing ats. Let me go to my Lunar Beaches Crypto account. You guys... wow. Pretty heavy on saying charts, huh? What? What? At Lunar Beaches Crypto. Huh. That's new. All right. So, yeah, so our total, or our others chart, which is everything outside of the top 10, which is going to be everything outside of the top 10. That's going to remove USDT, and I think USDC is in the top 10 too. So it's going to remove your stable coins, and this is just pure degenerate altcoins almost. That's going to be more of your DeFi, but those are looking strong too. You've got some macro breakouts, and you've got holding of the support line in here, trying to turn, well, resistance line, trying to turn it into support. It is very volatile, so that's why you get a bunch of spikes to the downside. And I mean, you're going to break trend lines a lot when you're looking at this chart, just because of the pure volatility of the market. You would think it would be a little more smoothed out, But this is smoothed out compared to a lot of altcoin charts. You got to think what brought this down was probably some crazy liquidations, putting in lower lows or, lower than last cycle lows on a lot of altcoins, right? But it was able to hold up generally across the altcoin market. Now, I think as the days obviously go by, that we are getting closer and closer to an altcoin season-ish. Verified partner channel. YouTube made a change to show handles instead of display names unless you're a verified channel. Verified partner channel? Weird. Verified partner channel. Is YouTube doing partnerships? Have they always done partnerships? Like Twitch does? I know Twitch does partnerships, like actual partnerships, but does YouTube do the same? I don't know. I haven't made it big enough yet. I know you can monetize, but I don't know about partnerships. I've never heard of a YouTube partnership. We've got our 2-year bond sitting at 3.75 and our 10-year sitting at 4.289. That is a clear 54 point difference, which is not good. That means way more. It leans way closer to recession. However, these have been dropping, indicating we are seeing some buying of U.S. bonds, treasuries. However, this looks like a big old bull flag in here. Ish. More of a symmetrical triangle, which I don't really care for. And I don't think the interest rates trade like that. Maybe, maybe not. But this also looks like it could just absolutely just roll over. But we'll see. We'll see. The Fed last week held the rate steady. Michelle Bowman suggests cuts could come in July, but Powell is facing pressure from Trump and markets alike. Of course, we have a lot of fighting going on, mostly with himself, because Powell doesn't really say much about Trump. But on the other hand, on the other side of it, Trump is absolutely going all in on Powell. Too late, Powell. Too late, Powell. Won't cut the interest rates. Everybody knows he should cut them. But he won't cut them because he's a secret Democrat and he's turning the frogs gay. Everybody knows this. Believe me. There's a big community post about it. Lots of backlash and requesting them to undo it. This thing happened a couple years ago. Verified partnerships equals checkmark, aka 100K plus subs. Regular partnership is monetized channels. Gotcha. Love how that sounds. Yeah, I'm not sure what you're talking about, but me too, man. Me too. Gold. Has gold topped? I don't know. But I do think that it is definitely in a correction, so we shall see if it is actually topped or not. Looking like we could come down. I don't know about this anymore, but looks like we're sweeping these internal lows in here, and we'll see if it can come up, sweep these lows, or these highs rather, and break out, or get a pull back down and up and then down and then up and then down, and then we start to get a little bit of rotation. We shall see. If it's not this, maybe something like that could really get it going. They're going to be the everything rally. We shall see. Could be because their other channel has more than 100K, might be following account and not the channel individually. Okay. Tesla looks like crap. Nvidia with the V-shaped recovery, breaking out into new all-time highs. Microsoft breaking out into new all-time highs. Meta on the verge of breaking out into new all-time highs. Google very far behind. Amazon behind, but poised to break new all-time highs. Apple not looking great, man. Apple be struggling lately. I wonder what the deal is with that. Probably because their products. Probably because they're not being very innovative. Innovative. See, I said it weird the first time, like on purpose, but then I tried to say it correctly, and then it didn't work. They're being innovative, or innovative, as I said. Or they're not being very innovative. Anyway, moving on. Geopolitical de-escalation boosts risk on sentiment. So we've got Israel and Iran tensions easing, reducing safe haven flows. Volatility eased Monday as geographical fears subsided. When is this put out? It says eased Monday. 6:24. 3-minute read. Okay. Market quick take. So we've got equities, US rebounds, tech leads, Europe mix, Asia rallies on ceasefire. Volatility, VIX retreats, hedging cheaper, focus on PCE and Powell. Digital assets, Bitcoin rebounds, ETH, I guess that means ETH sees outflows, or ETHA, maybe that's some type of stock. IBIT stable, risk on tone. Got a risk on tone. Fixed income, U.S. Treasuries rally on Fed comments. Oil price swoon. Yep. Currencies, USD bear returns with a vengeance as another Fed official mention of July rate cut. Commodities, crude tanks as geopolitical risks subside. And macro events, we've got Fed's Powell delivers semi-annual policy testimony. So we've got crude prices slumped and risk sentiment improved after Iran appeared to opt for a mostly symbolic response to the U.S. bombing by flagging in advance a limited strike on a U.S. base in Qatar caused no casualties, and after Trump announced a ceasefire timeline for the, quote, 12-day war between Israel and Iran. Fed's Bowman, echoing Waller, suggested a divide among FOMC members and is open to a July rate cut if inflation remains contained. She emphasized focusing on job market risk and noted minimal impacts from trade policy on inflation. Bowman is the second governor to signal a willingness for a July cut. S&P Global. What's going on, little fish? S&P Global Composite PMI fell slightly to 52.8 in June from 53 in May, indicating a mild cooling in private sector growth, but marking the 29th month of expansion. Service sector output eased to 53.1, while manufacturing remained steady at a 15-month high of 52. U.S. existing home sales increased by 0.8% in May 2025 to an annualized rate of 4.03 million, rebounding from a 0.5% decline the previous month and surpassing market expectations of 3.96 million units. Whenever you pass market expectations, you start to get the sentiment turning. The sentiment starts to turn. The more sentiment turns, the more risk on people become. The more likely they are to put money into the markets because they believe they are safe to invest in now. So let's go ahead with that in mind. Get rid of this crap. Go to the weekly chart and let's bring up, speaking of indicators, check out Chart Prime, link in the description down below. Get 45% off your first month. And there comes with a Discord, a whole trading group. trading classes taught by Alex O Crypto and the OC guy. And yeah, go and check that out. Get 45% off your first month with clicking on the link in the description. But that is not the indicator that I wanted to bring up on Macro Monday. Instead, I want to bring up wrong one. That's for candles. Crypto Fear and Greed Index. Crypto Fear and Greed, we are steady 67, sitting in the greed. And we did get a nice bullish candle here on the weekly chart. However, we did not take out close above this high of the previous week of the 16th. So we're still just kind of range bound, right? So we didn't take out that high. We didn't take out this low. We don't have to take out that low, but I do think we need to get above this high. Correct, as I've been showing, and then move to the upside. We'll see. We'll see. If this pumps up and we get a weekly close above here, that would be a pretty good indication that this thing might just start ramping up and going to the upside. But if it just wicks above, does not get a candle close above, then we could see that pullback for the next couple of weeks following, and then continuation for the weeks following after that, which currently is pretty much what I'm thinking what we will get is something like this. And then we're just talking about just mooning from there, okay? Just mooning till we break 150K. Blow off top. We'll see. We shall see. But yeah. All right, let's see. You guys say, what do you want more of on MAD? You say charts. You say more charts, more charts, more charts. Well, I'm sorry to disappoint, but I'm done doing charts forever. I'm never doing charts ever again. After tonight. After tonight, it's going to be news only because that's what y'all didn't want. And I'm going to give you guys a reason to not come back. I don't know. I'm delirious, I guess. Now, the Bitcoin dominance on the weekly chart actually looks like we had a nice consolidation week last week, and that could actually push higher, which would not surprise me in the least, because I don't really think that altcoins are just there just yet. They're getting there, but they're not there just yet. We can take a look at where's my BTC pair? BTC pairs, thank you. We can see pretty still in the red here, pretty hardcore on our Bitcoin pairs here. Let's just take a look at, let's see, TIA versus Bitcoin, absolutely atrocious, just straight downside. LTO, whatever that is, versus Bitcoin, looks like it's dead. Gala, just straight downside, maybe getting a push, we'll see. Super, actually not looking bad. It's actually not bad when you compare it. When you're looking at Bitcoin, the Bitcoin pairs, this is actually not bad. This looks strong. So Super might be something to look out for. I believe, which one is Super an AI coin? Like an AI, I don't know. NMR, Numeraire, looking absolutely abysmal. UMA, abysmal. R, abysmal. CRV, BTC, one coin that I do like, which looks like it about a bide time before it gets going, I think. But I like this. See, anything that has had a pop like this against Bitcoin, even though they have consolidated since. But since then, just seeing that strength against Bitcoin at some point during the cycle makes me believe that we will see further strength later in the cycle. That doesn't mean these can't, get pumps up either, but it just, for me, I think that the ones that we need to be in, or that I'm going to be in, are ones that have already shown some kind of strength against Bitcoin. This is Link. Now, it hasn't really shown too much strength against Bitcoin. This looks like every time it comes up, it sells off into Bitcoin, comes up, sells off into Bitcoin. However, when you compare it, well, that's 2018. Your 2022 low came right here. So trading below the 2022 low on Link Bitcoin pair, if it can get a push up, then that thing would really get going. Now, your Bitcoin pairs are going to be very critical for when the market really trying to figure out when to get into altcoins. It really helps when you have a matching of levels, market structure between your Bitcoin and your USD pairs. So let's see XRP right in the middle. Just, I think it's getting ready to rip to the upside. Litecoin actually not showing much strength against Bitcoin. It did for a little while, but then it came down and still took out its lows. With BTC actually not looking bad against Bitcoin. See, you get the break up, you get the break above a high, and then you get consolidation, bull flag to the downside, holding the order block. It doesn't mean it can't push down one more time on some random week, but if it gets a break out, we'll look for the pullback, potential pullback. If not a potential pullback, it might just, everything is going to have to get a pullback, but kind of a line in the sand there. We'll see what it does from there, but if this breaks out, then maybe WIF is something to consider taking a ride on. Take a ride of WIF. Get a whiff of this. So yeah, little cheat code. That's Elliot's old coin, bro. That's Elliot's old coin. Huh? Which one? Who's Elliot? That's that Elliot's old coin? I don't even know what you're saying to me, my friend. But anyways. So yeah, what happened in crypto today? Today in crypto, Michael Saylor signals 11th consecutive week of Bitcoin buying. Kenya's crypto startups fear a Binance-linked lobby group could tilt new regulations in the exchange's favor under the proposed VASP bill. And ETF analysts are confident of Rex shares launching a Solana staking ETF very soon. Super. Elliot's old coin, bro. Okay, but who's Elliot? I don't know who you're talking about when you say Elliot. Super is the coin that you're talking of, but yeah, I don't know who Elliot is. Sorry. Saylor hints at continuing buying. Strategy co-founder Michael Saylor signaled an impending Bitcoin purchase in a Sunday social media post, making this the 11th consecutive week the company has accumulated more Bitcoin. Data from Saylor Tracker shows that Strategy currently has a total of 592,345 BTC, valued at over $63 billion, and is up over 52% on its investment. Wow. Michael Saylor is going to absolutely tank this market, isn't he? This translates to over $21.8 billion in unrealized gains for the Bitcoin Treasury Company, which is the largest corporate holder of Bitcoin. Binance ties to Kenyan crypto board raise monopoly concerns. Some crypto startups are raising concerns over Kenya's proposed virtual asset service providers VASP bill. warning it could hand outsized influence to a Binance-linked lobby group, potentially undermining fair competition in the country's digital asset industry. According to disclosures seen by the Kenyan Wall Street, a private think tank called the Virtual Asset Chamber of Commerce (VAC) will be included on the regulatory board established under the draft law. Some crypto stakeholders in Kenya claim that VAC has run Binance-sponsored regulatory talks, lacks independence, and acts as a proxy for the exchange. All regulation convos by VAC that happened recently have been sponsored by Binance. Then VAC, a private consulting entity with a non-compete with Binance, magically gets a regulatory seat? How is this fair? How is this constitutional? One stakeholder told the Kenyan Wall Street. Well, it's probably not. But yeah, so things are looking pretty good to answer the question of, can bulls sustain the momentum? I think short term, yes. I think we will see continued push up for this week, which will then lead into another correction and more sideways price action for a couple of weeks following that. And potentially what could get the markets going is a lot of Fed talk about they're really starting to consider cutting rates in July. Doesn't mean we'll get it, but that could mean that during the next FOMC, Powell might suggest that they will likely be cutting rates in September, in the September FOMC. So that would get the market very bullish. So what would the market do in that instance? The futures would start pricing in higher prices because they expect interest rates to cut. So we're right in that window, man. We're right in that window where it's about time for the moon gods to bless us with some gains. But we'll see. Thank you all for joining me this evening for Macro Monday. I hope I helped you out in some way tonight. If I did, smash that like button on your way out. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Don't forget to come back tomorrow for Good Morning Crypto with BC Port Corp, followed by the Morning Market Report at 10 with Army Piper and the OC guy. And then we have OC guy. This might be his last week doing trading with OC, as the series will be done. And that'll be it, maybe, for OC doing those evening shows. But then I will still be here. Now we'll be back tomorrow night for TA Tuesday. Maybe we'll get into some trading strategies. I think you might like this one. We'll see. Thank you all for joining me. I do appreciate each and every single last one of you. I hope you all had an amazing weekend, and I hope you all have an even better week ahead. Stay cool outside if it is hot where you are. Stay hydrated. Make sure you get you some electrolytes in your system. Get some salt in your system so that you can retain that water and stay hydrated and not have a heat stroke. So, just watching out for you guys. But anyways, thank you all. I hope you all have an amazing, beautiful, wonderful, radical sleep or rest of your day if you're on the other side of the world. And I will catch you all tomorrow. Mad love. Good night. Peace out. Alumni, it's your turn.
Trade dreams out the cocoa fate, staring at the charts while the world gets late. 808s hit like a comet through the dark. Every fib line's like a glow in the park.
lighting up the AM flame. Crypto sun rises in his name. OC God with the live soul. Bad spaghetti charts cooked with 100% intent. We in the madhouse, stars in our sight, trading constellations every single night. From the bottom we rose, now we chart like gods. Celestial moves with the squad at odds. In a waves boom while the trend line bends. We don't chase bluffs, we transcend. It's cosmic entries, divine exits. Markets after dark where the truth gets lit. Jay on the shadow, slipping through the zone. Ninja on the block, never moving alone. Buck digging deep in the digital minds. Loose cannon with precision, yeah, he read them signs. Frank the tank, bringing vibes and heat. Talk slick, but his charts don't miss a beat. Jesus saves seven, praying with the light. Faith in the levels, trust in the fight. Melissa hold the legacy down. LBC, so she wear that crown. All set, beaming high vibe rays, while heart throw horns through the gamma waves. We in the madhouse, stars in our sight, trading constellations every single night. From the bottom we rose, now we chart like gods. Celestial moves with the squad at odds. In a waves boom while the trend line bends. We don't chase pumps, we transcend. It's cosmic entries, divine exits. Markets after dark where the truth gets lit. So if you hear that tone in the void at night, that's not an echo. That's us. Still here. Still mad. On the chart like a priest in the zone, praying to the wicks and the candles tone. Sipping that slippage, feeling that FOMO. Portfolio flex like it's holy promo. Sacrifice fiat, selling the pump. Altars of alpha, wallets get plump. Lunar eclipse, my stop loss missed, and I'm baptized in that bullish bliss. Oh moon gods, bring us the gains. Light up the sky, burn off our chains. Bring us the gains. Eyes wide shut, I'm divine with the play. Spirit in sync with the market's phase. Confluence hit, I go full send. Lambo dreams that never end. Fibonacci carved in stone. Sacred trend lines, bullish tone. Chart prime whispers in my ear. Take the trade, release the fear. Burn the down, cleanse the wick. Let the